discuss that how to find the inverse of the matrices. As we know that if A is a matrix such that if A inverse exists, then to find the inverse of A, and we will use some elementary operations that if we are using row operations, then we will start from writing as A is equal to IA. That is, A is one matrix and we have to write it in the form of A is equal to identity into A matrix, right? And after that, this A matrix, we will convert this A matrix to the identity matrix, and the same operations we will apply to this identity matrix, and that will convert to inverse. That I have written here, that this A will convert to identity matrix and is equal to this identity. By applying the same operations, this identity will become one matrix, that is, we can say as B matrix, and this A as it is. All right, so at the last, what is B? B will be the inverse of A. All right, so similarly in the using column operations, we will write it as A is equal to AI, right? Now my point is, by using while using elementary row operations, we will write A is equal to IA, and while using column operations, we will write as A is equal to AI. But why? Do you know the reason behind this? Now we will discuss that the reason. Let's take an example, any 3 by 3 or 2 by 2 matrix you can take. I'm taking this matrix as A is equal to this matrix, right? And with on the same order, I'm taking one identity matrix. This is 3 by 3 order matrix, and I'm taking 3 by the same order, that is identity matrix 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. All right, now while applying the row operations, we need to write it as A is equal to IA. So now what I am doing, I'm just interchanging row 1 and row 2 in the identity matrix, right? Because I'm taking this matrix only, because if I'm taking the other one, the all values will be changed, right? So if I'm taking like 1 1 1, this will be clear more. So I'm taking only identity matrix here. Now what I'm doing, just interchanging the rows, the first row and the second row. So that will become the other matrix, and I am naming it as E matrix. Now while interchanging the rows, that is the first row will become 0, and this will be 1, and this is 0, and this row will become the second row in E matrix, that is 1 0, and this is 0. Third row remain as it is. All right, so now what we are doing, you can see that this is IA, right? So yes, I'm just interchanging the row 1 and row 2. So now we will write it as EA, because this was IA na? Now I'm just, by interchanging the rows, now we are having one more matrix, that is the name of as E. So I'm just finding EA now. EA matrix is the E matrix I have written here, and the A matrix that we have let this one. Now just multiply this. Now start doing multiplication. This will be, as you can see that, and you know, all of you know how to multiply it. This will be the first row and the first column. So it will be 0 into 1 0 plus 1 into minus 1, that is minus 1. So I'm just writing here minus 1. Similarly, at this point, this will be with the second column, that is 3, right? Now with the third column, this will be 0. Similarly, second row with all the columns, so it will be 1 and then 2 and then minus 2, right? Now the last will be the third row with the first column, so it will be 0 and then -2 and then 1, only 1. All right. Now what is the difference here? As you can see that this was our matrix A. So this was matrix A and this is the resultant matrix after multiplication. Now as you can see that the first row, and in the A matrix this was the second row. Similarly in the resultant matrix the second row, so this was the first row in the matrix A. As you can see that when you multiply EA, only rows are changed here, right? Only rows are changed. The second row in A matrix will become the first row in the resultant matrix, and the first row in the in the matrix A will become the second row in the resultant matrix. So when we multiply EA, and you can say when we subject the prefactor, that means only rows will changed, right? So that is why when we are writing A is equal to IA, and when we subject the prefactor, that is this one in the multiplication, when we subject the prefactor, only row operations will apply. Similarly, if we are talking about the column operations, we will write it as in the form of A is equal to AI, right? Same as this, by interchanging the rows, we are having the other matrix, that is E. Now I am multiplying it as AE. In the row operations, I have multiplied EA, but now in the column operations, I will multiply it as AE. So now just multiply it again. You know how to multiply it? Yes. So this will be the first row with the first column. So this will be 2, and after that first row with second column, this will be 1, and after that this will be -2. All right. Now let's move to the second row with all the columns. So it will be 3, and after that -1, now 0. Now after that, this is third row with all the columns, so it will be -2 and then 0 and then 1. Now as you can see that this was the A matrix, and now after multiplication this is the resultant matrix, and now you can see that the second column will become the first column, and the first column in the A matrix will become the second column, right? So when we multiply, or you can say when we subject this part from this, I can easily explain from this, when we subject this part, right, that is the post factor in multiplication, when we subject this one, only columns will change, right? So I hope you are getting this point, that every elementary column operations of a product AB can be obtained by subjecting the post factor, Similarly, in the row operations, every elementary row operations of a product AB can be obtained by subjecting the prefactor, that is this one. So I hope you are getting this point, when why we will write A is equal to IA while applying the row operations, and A is equal to AI while applying the column operations. So thank you so much.